Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to realMyst Masterpiece Edition, or just Myst. So I've been sitting here for 30 minutes, waiting for the sun to come out, and it hasn't come out. So I'm wondering if maybe there is no actual time, if what actually happened is it was sun when we first entered the mechanical age here, and then when we entered the building it turned to night, and it's just going to stay night until we do something. Either way, playing for an hour, then potentially having to wait for an hour is not acceptable. Fortunately, I can mostly assume that the puzzles are just inside of here. So let's find some puzzles and do them and not deal with the fact that it's pitch black outside. Uh, it's really, really ridiculous and doubly ridiculous that you can't speed up daytime. And if we look at the settings, at no point under any of these settings can you turn up the brightness on the game. So I don't have any like special recording way even to to change the brightness. Like I'd have to go edit everything, I would say, and re-render the files and do a lot of stuff that I frankly don't have the time or the capability to deal with. So we've got a lot of toys here that are blown out and too bright when we have the flashlight on them, and kind of dark when we don't have the flashlight on. We know we have this. Does that mean anything? Let's see. Is this a red and then a yellow? If it's in the picture, then that might be it. Or maybe it's blue, red, yellow here. That looks quite like something. So blue. Now I didn't hit it right. Blue, red, yellow. And then red and yellow. But I don't see anything blue. So you have a combination here. Let's click on this. See, click on things that might be secret controls. What's that music? Hmm. That is weird. Weird that that thing just plays music. Alright. There's nothing I see here. There's nothing in this picture that I see that matches either. We have a time here that is 3:35. Can't look at the carpet. So blue, red, yellow. We know there's a doorway right here. Oh, did we just have to click on it? Jeez, that was easy. So we have some gold hidden here. This guy's obviously all about the opulence. And we have a red page. So as far as our inventory is concerned, we've got that red page in our hand. Sirrus, your greed sickens me. Your desire for wealth and plunder is never satisfied. I will instruct my subjects to pay your new tax, and you know they'll listen to me. Regards, Ashar. This is the handwriting of a psychopath, it looks like. So they seem like they might actually have been kings. Sadly, I can't do anything with this page. There's no inventory. I feel like there should be. So Sirrus is the greedy one, it seems like. Where the other one seems like he's just a crazy one. So this is Sirrus's throne room. There's a button here we can get back to after a while. And I assume this is the other guy. Which, to me, he seems scarier. There's a red light there, lighting the room up. Like, is that a human face? A real human face? And we have a red butterfly. And then this device here, which we couldn't figure this out. Fortress rotation simulator calibrating. So symbols. Everything should work here. And yet, it doesn't feel like it is. Okay. So that, did I just rotate it? Seems like this thing doesn't do anything. But this one seems to rotate after a while. So maybe there's a speed to it. So maybe we need to... So we got one of them, I think. But was that the actual simulation? Or not? Seems like it saved our settings. Let's go in here and see what this is. So this looks like all kinds of poisons and torture devices and a blue page. So now we've got a blue page and a red page. Hopefully we didn't put one down. And that doesn't open the door, that electrocutes. Yeah, that shocks whoever's in there, I would say. And here we have a knife with blood. So, and there we've got a face. That's pretty nefarious. I mean, this stops feeling like it's just all play and starts to feel like it's real craziness going on between him, and the other guy doesn't seem like he's very much of a leader either. Let's now see if anything's spun. If I look here, all I see is darkness. So let's go back to the front door and see if it's still dark outside and if anything's changed here. Man, it's pitch black. It is just pitch black. I can't imagine anybody seeing this. And like, I can't put the blue pages or the red pages on that platform. I have to take them with me. We have this interface, but I haven't seen any of these symbols. Let's see. So even if it was just a daytime, it is just an hour in darkness is equivalent to an hour in light, which is an insane way for your day-night cycle to work. The game's just not designed for that. It really isn't. So since I found the red and black things, by the way, the red and blue pages, I've kind of solved this area. This button, however, goes this way. Good. So, in a lot of aspects, I just have to find the way out, and then that's it. I assume, I guess this is the rotation device for real. What's this button do? Alright. I see a symbol, and when I click on it, I just zoom out. So, oops, a little bit too fast. Got it. So, I think that's all we needed. Well, just look in comparison on what you can see here. This doesn't even have anything to do with daylight cycle. It just has to do with brightness. Would there be a way to trap yourself in here? I don't see a possibility on that. Let's see. Like, if you click this and then start walking forward, it won't let you go. So you're fine. You can't get trapped there. Into the elevator we go. Let's go down, I guess. Down is not a valid option. Then let's go middle. Boy, that looks nice and shiny. That being said, in the elevators you can't look left or right. So I think I'm just in the middle of something. I can't open the door. Let's go up more. This looks like more of a creepy maintenance tunnel than anything else. Seems like panels or things. This whole thing doesn't look aligned. It feels exactly like the section of the, what was that, the watchtower? Something that's obviously up there to look at later. But there's no turning or anything like that. Oh, timer. There we go. Got it. You can't do anything on the panel, but I assume what I want to do is something like this. What's this button do? It brings the elevator. Ooh, so this is gonna be a little confusing, I suppose. We need to go back down. And we also need to hit this. Alright, so we know the timer only works when we're at the top. I'm very lucky that all this puzzle really is set inside. It's still completely pitch black out here. I mean, if that was the purpose, if that was the goal, that makes a little bit of sense. That you'd have the outside dark so the player didn't go the wrong direction. But I'm not sure that's really the case. So I want it all the way this way and all the way this way. No. This one. So if we set this one all the way up, and then this one all the way here, and then that one down, I think that's how you do it. I hope that's how you do it, because I don't understand what else to do otherwise. I think it's the actions of the three, of doing it just in that order, that matters, not particularly how long or a very specific angle that it should be at. I guess I could try and hop back into the elevator after the button is pressed. So all the way up, and then all the way and then ding. Did I do it? Everything is blocked off. It's impossible to tell. Let's hit the button. When we hit the button, we have no choice. let's hit this. Let's see. See what happens when we hit this. Nothing. Do we have time to go out here and then go back in? Yes, we do, but none of that matters. Well, we see somebody. I believe this is an achievement, actually. Somebody's been hung up. Going to the mechanical age is the right way to go in the story. It really immediately puts you in the right mind space of truly being fearful and cautious around at least one of the sons, if not both the sons. They both seem like they're rotten, spoiled children. Given all of the world is, I think, the theory here. There we go. It may take me several tries to figure out which one is the right one, though. Like, I don't know if that specifically turned it 1/4 turn, half a circle of a turn, 360 degrees. Probably not 360 degrees. It probably means this has changed, though. Yes, it has. And the flashlight's on, and I see nothing. There's like nothing out here. There's nothing out here to see. There's no water. The light won't reflect on the water. Like, unless there's supposed to be some kind of constellation or something. Like, nothing. Nothing at all. You just can't play this way. Oh, I don't remember this being part of this puzzle either. I think this is new. I think they've added a new kink to it. Maybe I've got this wrong. If I want this to go to where it is, maybe I need to do something like this. Ding. I think that's what we would have anyway, so let's not bother with that one. Instead, let's go with this one. Soda. Soda can opening is what that sounded like to me. So back up we go, and we're gonna play with the controls until we get a soda can opening sound, which this game heavily focuses on sound puzzles, and it's sometimes problematic for me. Like, sound indicator here. No subtitles in this game. Frankly, if you're hard of hearing, you are boned in this game. You might as well not buy it. That was one thing in the Witness. There was one sound section, but the sound section did not specifically think. I think that's not the one we want. There we go. Like, in the Witness there was one sound section, but since you could play most of the game, you couldn't do 100% of the game without doing that section. You could do, I'd say 92% of the game without doing any sound puzzles. And there was also a section in the Witness where if you were particularly colorblind, you probably wouldn't have been able to beat that section either. So we can't see anything out that section. Seeing the beginning of light, it looks like. And this bridge now connects to something different, by the way. Maybe what happened is it's just not programmed to go back to day. Well, then that wouldn't make sense why we're starting to see the beginning of light in here. So, the sun over mountains and the half moon, that's half of the solution to the original puzzle. Notice how smooth these stairs are carved. Finally, 30 minutes into it. It literally is an hour. I sat for 30 minutes to get after it got dark, and then I sat for another 30 minutes playing this game, and now it's starting to get bright. So we need to know what the sound is for this one here. Alright, go, go, go. I'm surprised I've even figured out this much. Ding! Alright, high-pitched ding. I'm not sure there actually is any more puzzles here. Maybe the crystals in that other room are just a, like, red herring. I wouldn't put it past this game if they don't do anything. So I have to remember what those two symbols are, though. Don't mess that up. I don't think it went far enough. There we go, we got the ding. So it doesn't feel like the amount of time that it rotated in any way connects to the sound and the way it seems to actually have rotated. which is weird. I suppose you could do that by having certain gear teeth different. Here I can see out here, and we can finally see the sunlight is coming up. After all this time. Is that because I'm solving the puzzle? Or is that because I'm some other reason? See, he has the curtains down so it's always dark in his room. Finally. Like, we're just gonna get one view of this. This is just bad game concept. Somebody should have played the new version of this game and said, you know what? You're gonna spend a significant amount of time in the dark if you happen to be in the dark, and that's no fun. So I now know it's a ring, a sea, the spikes, to up and down spikes, mountain, and half moon. Hey, we also see there's a boat over there. Is that another boat? Finally, we're starting to see. Finally, the sun's coming up. The transition time from night to day is pretty fast. So that was where we were before. You can see that this section of the platform rotates. Over there is nothing except for the hanged man. Or the hanged skeleton. So we'll go here and we'll double check to know we know the right sound. It's super convenient that this would be right here. I mean, if this one toy here didn't teach us what to do, we would never be able to figure it out, almost certainly. So that's cowbell. We want more cowbell. And I think we've solved all the puzzles here. I would have to double check and see what like achievements I missed, but I don't think I have for this mechanical age. Anyways, so that's the only thing I could personally concern myself with is if I didn't do an achievement in an area. Otherwise, there's a decent chance that I will miss some things. If we turn this off though, it's still pitch black in here. There's no sunlight in this area. So ding. 3, 4, 5. Nope. That's not the one we want. 3, 4. That's what we want. Every single one of these worlds is also very much on lockdown in this puzzle mode. It's just like you don't. If Catherine, his wife, had shown up at some point before I had shown up, then she would have put in all the codes, solved all the puzzles for us, assuming that the puzzles don't just automatically reset. Here we can see out here, and finally in the sunlight, nothing there. And I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that these crystals don't do anything. Blue, red, yellow. even though you have those 3 items that are clearly designed to be that. And finally we are back out to where we were before. But it's daytime now and we can see, and it's not even pure daytime, it's barely dusk. I mean dawn, not dusk. But that's enough for me to be happy. Why? Why make me play almost all of this map in darkness? It seems so silly. Anywho, this is really the only place to put in a code. It was already, like, here's the problem again with the flashlight. It's just like too bright, too dark, too bright, too dark, too bright. Why can't I adjust brightness on the game? That one is there, and that one goes there, and that's the combination. So you have kind of this keyhole, you have down then up, you have 3 mountains and the moon, or the sun, and then you have a half moon. I hit it, it turns me automatically to see that, and yet it doesn't leave me automatically looking at it, which is weird. And here we have the Myst book to get back to the land of Myst. And I think that's all we need to do. So it's not unsurprising that the path back is right near where you started in case you come to this land and want to leave, as long as you know the code. And who wouldn't know the code? Unless the code changes. Everyone should know the code. Catherine, his wife, the husband, and the 2 sons should all know the code. Seems kind of silly. So, this is our first look at the new animation to go to Myst. You have the spinning sky picture. We click on it, and we transport ourselves. Now I imagine if it's daytime here, it'll be daytime in Myst Island 2. And we are looking right at the top of the library. So it just takes me to the library. And we have a blue page. That is the crazy guy. Let's give him his blue page and see what he has to say.
He returned. He wouldn't return. The pages rescue me. I'm Achenar. My brother, I beg you. To be complete. Always blue pages. Listen to him. Not listen to my brother. An egotistical fool and a liar. Bring me the blue pages. The red ones. Don't bring the red ones. I implore you. I've been wrongfully imprisoned. You must leave. I will have my retribution. Please bring me the blue pages. Pages, please.
So, Crazy Agnar here says he's innocent. Bring him the blue pages. Don't listen to the other brother, and he'll lie and all that. Now, the appropriate response here is to leave them both. Just walk away. But we're stuck on this island, so we really can't do that. I mean, you could quit the game and never play it again, but we've got to see this through. So I think what the problem here is you kind of have to choose which page are you going to bring. So it's so nice to be in the sunlight again. Uh, so I think I now have to run back to the mechanical age, go get the red page, and use it. Now everything should be fine there. It's just a matter of loading. It sucks that it loads at all. By today's modern standards, these worlds are not big enough that you couldn't load it all into memory, or at least get rid of loading screens some other way. Aw, did it just turn to night? It did. Something triggers when you walk here. Something triggers. So we gotta grab the red page, it's back where it was. I don't want to lose the light. But you can kind of clearly see that something is programmed to make it go dark. Now this was the first place that you would go if you just spun the map connector here. It's also probably somewhat maybe one of the worst places to go, but I think they're all kind of equally fine. Unless I see some reason, I'm gonna put the sound world at the very end, and I think that works rather well. Let's put the red page in here and see what he has to say.
You've returned. Thank you for bringing me red page. You must continue to help. My name is Sirrus. I beg you to find the remaining red pages. You must release them. Release me from this book which has become. Bring. I need more red pages, please. Beg. Don't waste time. Look. Don't. My brother is guilty. And I wrongfully imprisoned. Bring the red page to me.
So he's a little bit more believable, although I really don't believe either one of them. He's saying he's innocent, bring me the red pages, don't trust my brother, type stuff. At least that's what I get from outside all the static. And I don't think there's more to do in the mechanical age. So, much like we solved the first puzzle to get here, we now just need to turn this to the next location. And quite connected to the same thing we did in the mechanical age. So there's something you should probably realize eventually here at least is somebody trapped them both in these books. Somebody took pages out of those books either before or after they were trapped and put them all over the place. And so there's a third party here, unless they both trapped each other in the books and then put the pages, they both scattered the pages then trapped each other in it, which would be interesting. But we kind of have already seen the message from the father, so we know he's the third party. So we have the book symbol here, which I don't think ever changes. We climb up this ladder, and we see this, and that's our hint. And then we go this way around, and we see our key. So, October 11, 1934 at 10:04 a.m. So, 10/11/84, 10:04 a.m. Oh, this is gonna be a pain. This is gonna be such a pain. Let's see if we can do something here. Let's see if we can cheat a little bit. And then have that picture here. Screenshot it type thing. That would certainly be helpful. And we'll see if that helps. If I could fast travel to the place I need to go between here, that would certainly help too. Also, I guess I could just take a picture too. As in an actual picture with my cell phone, which I have had to do on a few things. So the elevator rotates every time because it wants you to specifically always be looking directly at the book, which means that it has to rotate. Alright. So you could have wandered around the island trying to figure out what it is, but it's partially this right here. This area. Let's see, how do you shut the door? Do you shut the door? Is right here. Now, assumingly, you would have to have wandered around the place a lot to figure that out. October 11th, 1934. So it goes way in the future, 999 and 1. And I'm not sure if it's jumping any really. Like, no, it's not. So that's a massive amount of potential inputs here. At 10:04 a.m. This is a star constellation simulator, I would say, is what you call it. And that wasn't right. So I hit escape and it brings me out. And if I was to click on this, it would just ask me to load it. So, yeah. Let's go back. If it's one thing I have problems with, is definitely going to be memory of long amounts of information like that. This is probably not the best game in the world. Let's see. Please have battery. I have an old cell phone I keep somewhat for this occasion. And it doesn't have battery. Nope. So I'll have to charge that up. Now, I've figured out what you need to do already. October 11, is that 84 or 34? 10:04 a.m. It must be 84. But it's quite a journey. Quite a journey to wander all the way back this way and all the way down. A lot of stuff has to be done just to get doors open and go up and down elevators and all of that. It's too much. It would really be helpful for fast travel. Not particularly necessary, but they should have not had this area so just completely. So what happens when we click this the second time? It just goes it just buzzes at us. There we go. Gotta turn the lights off. Come back in here. I assume you could probably have this flashlight still on. It's going the wrong direction. So, this is the right thing, but you're not even given a real great indication that this is the right thing. You've got this hexagonal shape with two dots. It kind of looks like a kite, maybe a bat or a flying squirrel, something like that. That's your only little bit of hint that this is giving you to then make you go over here, because all of these puzzles are somewhat connected, to find the creature that looks like it matches there. That would be 5. Obviously that constellation wouldn't match that one. Doesn't match the anchor and it doesn't match the tick, and it doesn't match the snake, and it doesn't match the eye. So that's good, but now we've got to find the other two. It's like the other two dates, and there's no way I was gonna memorize that. Still trying to mess with the phone as I'm trying to also play. In every little break, it'll take it more than 5 minutes to boot up. But next recording, at least we would be ready for it. That's even if either one of the two batteries I have for it are charged. There we go. Flashlight. I mean, they did such a great job with all the art here. You'd think they'd be more proud of it. January 17th, 12:07, 5:46 a.m. Let's see. That was 12:07. I suppose I'm not awful. At least it only took me 2 tries to get the correct information for the first constellation. And if we really wanted to try and cheat it, I bet there isn't a reset switch in it. So if I got the second constellation, it wouldn't be that too difficult to brute force it and try every single other third symbol instead of doing that. In fact, on at least one version of this game, there's a way to brute force a very important puzzle just by like wasting 12 minutes. I don't think it's this version though. So January 17th, 12:07. And 5:46 a.m. That's not gonna work because the light's on. Alright. So if that's correct, 5:46. Let's see what happens if we go to 5:48. You're given exactly a different set of combinations. I bet there's not an infinite number of these, and it does kind of match up, but this is almost like a trapezoidal shape, maybe a square. Let's go see if there's a constellation that matches that. It would be silly to brute force it though. Let's see, that doesn't make sense. The arrow doesn't make sense. The anchor doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That one doesn't seem like it would be right either. And that one doesn't seem like it would be right either. I don't see how the eye is gonna ever be one of the solutions. So, we've gone an hour, and instead of spending time going back and forth, I will simply write down the date and we will start back there. Hopefully we don't run into the day-night cycle on the Myst Island as badly as we did on the Mechanical Age. Either way though, we are still running into a lot of just general darkness, and that it's just not well thought out animation and lighting design. Notice I also had problems with this door. I kept sitting here trying to drag it because my instinct would be to drag it like a real handle, and it doesn't work. You have to click on it. Anywho, we can save here, and we'll just save right over this. There we go. And this will be a good place to end this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.